Sorry about that. As soon as this gets done loading up, we'll get back to doing what we were doing.
She goes, I cannot wait no longer. I need outside. I need the fence. Well, they're going to have to fucking start knocking because this is my house. I will have them arrested for trespass.
Cody says he can't go to the base, but he's forced.
That's his problem. Yeah.
Let Dee know that he can ring the doorbell, knock on the door, because anybody that walks in my house is asking for trouble. I don't care who it is.
Alright, let's try this again.
I didn't buy this house to have people fucking walk in.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, the beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
I think one of the things that attracted people to Alex Smith initially was his mobility, and that's never changed. That guy's a great athlete, but he's so sharp with the football, so accurate, and takes care of it so well. He rarely puts his team in bad situations.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Chris Thompson in his 7th season now as a Redskin. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
See you, Thompson.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught by Richardson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. They run with Adrian Peterson, the second active leading rusher in the NFL. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. From the 50, it's Smith. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but now it'll be third down. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Smith. It's brought in by Dodson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and it's third and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
From the gun, Miller. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Running back Kerryon Johnson was drafted out of Auburn in the 2nd round of 2018 to become the Detroit Lions lead running back, something they haven't had in a long time. In fact, in 2018, he ran for over 100 yards in a game in September, the first Lions back over 100 yards since Reggie Bush on Thanksgiving Day in 2013. They're hoping that continues, and he'll be the 3-down runner that they've been seeking. You can script and diagram plays all you want, but no one really envisioned something like that happening this early in the game. How about that run to get things started? Didn't he win NFC Player of the Week last week?
Yeah, he was on fire a week ago, and what a start to this one.
Yeah, no sign of him cooling down at all.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play.
61. Matchbox, right. Ready.
Back to throw. Miller. Rush coming.
Seriously?
And he's taken down. Jonathan Bostic charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops it for a loss of 11.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Looking to throw. Miller throwing deep for Gunn. That's caught inside the 20. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any...
Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Lions have taken the lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Let's go. 10 logo.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It goes as a gain of 8 that moves the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they're bringing your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On second down, it's Johnson. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, 72 yards. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On second down now, it's Peterson. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meet.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a gain of 35. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 25 yards that time. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the touchdown run came from Kerryon Johnson to cap things off. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and it's third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They run the counter now. It's Peterson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing in the line of scrimmage.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. 58 yards. Well, a big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw it a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
It's just me and you. It's just me and
Now Miller looking to throw on second down. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Here we go.
And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. This time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin in the Windy City, where the New York Giants have made the trip to take on Chicago. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. Mitchell Trubisky has thrown a touchdown pass there. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Joe Flacco with 2 touchdown passes there. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. And they start the second half with Johnson. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of 2 there, second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Lions. 52 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defense.
Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance, and most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. That guy just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Smith. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and it'll bring up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
Oh, no.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. Oh, and now some space to operate. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, 70 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now on 2nd and 13, Smith, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Smith, and this is going to be incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
This is taken at about the 14. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
Set. 50. Plant. Right. 54. Double dog. That's the way.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run it with Johnson. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That good for 22 and a 1st down. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Go set. 60 Pittsburgh. Hey, let's go. Come crowd. Strip the ball. Let's go.
Here's Peterson. He's got it on the draw. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it? This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Fielded at about the 28. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. 22 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Prater for the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Smith throwing again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 10. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This is taken at the 18. And he's into the clear. Touchdown, Detroit. Boy, he covered a lot of ground. 82 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Hey, rookie, that's the way to make an impression. Return one for a touchdown.
Yeah, welcome to the party. We saw him fielding those punts before the game, and he just had a little bit of a look in his eye, didn't he?
He did. He was a confident young man, and now we know why.
Extra point good by Prater, and that will extend this big lead. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devon Kennard in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And this one complete to Reed. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Johnson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Now Prater to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, Peterson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them.
And there he goes again. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Prater for the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
So out now come the Redskins. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Smith. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. And that is incomplete. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A nice display of powerful running, but it takes him only to the 7. He's dropped there. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
special.
Good.
Yeah, special as in your favorite. I thought you loved to pick on him.
I do. I'm sorry. I messed up.
Do you still have feelings for her?
What? No. We broke up 2 years ago.
Yeah, that doesn't really answer my question.
Where my second screen is.
Let's go step on the fire pit, okay?
And that whole thing
I'm
is
down
just
to you.
me
Come on.
Thank you.
and Keith. Like at least a half-inch thick Keith.
There's just a lot of us. Maybe I need to be easier to do in the office. I could drive us.
Hello.
Now? Well,
Hey,
I was
what's up?
gonna set up the children's art booth tomorrow.
Why?
There's
Yep.
so a lot I'm trying to figure out if it would work.
Yep.
I'm just not ready to go yet. I need more time.
Yep.
Lucy, I know you're confused. And
Okay.
going through this whole identity
All right.
crisis. This
And bye.
isn't working.
I know. I can't remember our time together, but I can tell that you're a really good man. Just better than this.
Polly.
You know, I should have known you were never going back on.
I tried to get there, but I don't think I can.
Can I catch a ride with you to work? No.
When we first met, it was like instant friendship. Spent so much time in the office together. It was
Oh,
only
he
naturally
yes.
we started
Yellow,
dating.
yellow.
I always knew there was a piece
Yes,
of you
go
that was
to work.
No
I'm
much.
really sorry, Brad.
You won't bring
That's okay,
food
Lucy.
with you.
Probably not tonight, bro.
I still care about you. Even if we aren't meant to be together.
When you
Sorry, my
stay on
dude.
the CFO, I really don't want things to change.
Of course,
Alright, man.
we're partners.
Alright, brother.
I should,
Are you